I'm so excited. I'm so excited just to be able to move in and be on campus. I did not want to start college remotely. I did not at all.
It is move-in day for new Gonzaga students, but campus looking a bit different this year. From classrooms to dining halls, reminders to socially distance and wear a mask cannot be missed. And this year, 15% of Gonzaga University students are enrolled in fully remote learning. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
Welcome everyone. I'm Whitney Ward. This year, about 2,000 students are expected to live on Gonzaga's campus, which is about 700 fewer than last year. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley is joining us now live from the GU campus with what students can expect this year as they move in and attend class in the middle of a pandemic. Amanda?
Yeah, good evening, Mark and Whitney. So we're in the heart of campus, right next to the Hemmingson Center. You've got the Athletic Center on the other side here. Now, Gonzaga students moving on to campus will check in here where these tents are. Now, this one behind me where the black panels are, that's where they've been doing voluntary COVID-19 testing. Then you've got these other tents and the lineup to space everybody out to check in and get your keys for your res hall. Now, this is pretty different from years in the past, and it's a lot more spread out, but it's all in the university's effort to ensure the health and safety of its students this year.
The moment you walk on Gonzaga University's campus, you'll see signs everywhere reminding you to wear a mask and stay 6 feet apart. University staff are making sure this message sticks throughout the year, starting today as students move on to campus.
I did not want to start college remotely.
Sarah Bonaparte is grateful to be getting the on-campus experience her first year in college. And so is Mom.
My husband and I are really looking forward to being empty nesters. And of course, we've all been together since March. So I think our kids are happy to get back to school and see their friends.
Hand sanitizer stations are outside every open residence hall, though some halls are set aside for quarantine and isolation spaces if needed.
100% compliance with people wearing masks and trying to be socially distant.
At Hemmingson Center, students are encouraged to take their meals to go. That's why seating areas are now replaced with controlled traffic flow and markers.
They're just a positive message for our students, as they are waiting in line to go and enjoy their breakfast or lunch or dinner.
Outdoor seating is available instead under this tent across from the center. As long as the weather cooperates, it will remain there until October.
We know that COVID will be here, but we also want to take every precaution that we can and allow our students to have as wonderful an experience as they can.
Those precautions are what will make the school year much different than before. Classroom sizes are capped at 15 people, with desks separated 6 feet apart. GU is asking anyone who visits campus to complete a daily self-certification form using the ZAG Check app or online. Voluntary tests are provided by the university at no cost, but it is also implementing contact tracing, random surveillance, and targeted testing to manage COVID-19 on campus.
That we're all in this together and we're all going to do this together.
Now, I have to say I am very impressed. Throughout the day or this morning when I was here, I still have not seen one person on campus who is not wearing a mask. So those families and students who are here today seem to really be taking these new safety guidelines seriously. Reporting from Gonzaga University, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Amanda, thank you very much. And no matter how old your kids are, whether they're getting ready for the first day of kindergarten or high school or college, it is a little nerve-wracking right now. And we know there are a ton of questions. I had a chance to sit down and talk today with the superintendent of Spokane Public Schools, Dr. Adam Swinyard, and he had some great advice, whether you're here in Spokane or anywhere else across the region.
There's much to grieve about in all this. There's a lot to mourn, and we have to be hopeful. And we have to be positive, and we have to know that this is a moment in time that we didn't choose, and we have to respond.
As overwhelmed as parents may be right now, what about talking with kids who may be overwhelmed? What should those conversations look like right now?
It's so important for families to sit down and talk about what are you hearing, and what scares you, what worries do you have. Sometimes those are really logical, and parents just need to address that some of those things are real and legitimate. And sometimes they are not logical, and it's an opportunity for parents to say, to provide that clarification, to say, no, that isn't how it is, and this is the reality, and you don't get there with a child unless you sit down and you talk it through.
Sorry about that echo there. We'll try to get that figured out. In the meantime, Dr. Swinyard also wanted to make it very clear for students who are going to be attending Spokane Public Schools, this year of digital learning is going to be very different than it was last spring. First of all, there's going to be a real-time school day with a start and an end time, plenty of interaction with teachers and fellow classmates throughout the day, but also you'll be able to hear more from Dr. Swinyard tonight at 6 o'clock about how to make digital learning more successful this year all the way around. And as some kids are already back in school, others are getting ready. We know there's a lot of new information out there. So to keep up on the latest updates, just text schools to 509-448-2000. Mark?
To our wildfire coverage now. Crews making significant progress on the Palmer fire burning in the Okanagan region just south of the U.S.-Canada border. You can see on this map right here, the fire now 57% contained. It has grown to more than 17,700 acres. Evacuations are still in place for the following areas listed on your screen. Level 3 evacuations, that means leave now. Level 2 means be ready to evacuate at a moment's notice. And Level 1 means get ready to leave. Crews are expecting no significant growth or movement of the fire. That is the good news. Of course, anytime we're talking wildfires, we're also closely watching the forecast. Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Tom Sherry. Tom, I know the wind is always a concern. We're also tracking the wildfire smoke. Has that been an issue with all these fires?
It really hasn't. Our air quality right now is registering good. It is forecast to go into the moderate stage. That was actually supposed to happen today, but it hasn't happened as of yet. So, so far, so good, at least as air quality concerns are what we're talking about. And the windiest conditions are going to arrive the last half of the weekend. I'll tell you more about that in a few moments. 82 degrees, that's the current temperature with the wind out of the southwest at 9 miles per hour. Our air quality, as I mentioned before, is registering good. The forecast is for it to drop down into the moderate stage, but still, that's much better than what we've seen it before. Past fire years, we've seen the unhealthy range of our air quality. Some rain is occurring to the southeast of us, mostly moving into southwestern Montana. We're just enjoying blue skies right now and very warm conditions. We'll look for an overnight low of 52, 86 the expected high tomorrow. I always look ahead to the weekend, and that's when we see the changes. We'll be at 87 on Saturday. It will get windy, though, Saturday night into Sunday as that cold front moves in, drops our daytime high Sunday to only 76, and we could even see a few rain showers develop Sunday night into Monday. More details on that coming up with my 7-day forecast in just a few minutes.
Thank you very much. Breaking within the last hour, the Seattle Mariners have decided to sit out of their game against the San Diego Padres tonight. That decision made in protest of the police shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin. Our Brenna Green joining us now live with details. Brenna?
Yeah, Mark, of course, the original thing that teed this all off today was the Milwaukee Bucks opting to not play in their NBA playoff game against the Orlando Magic in protest of this incident as well. Here's what we know about the Mariners' decision and how it all came down. After the NBA opted to not play games today, the Milwaukee Brewers and Cincinnati Reds opted to not play their game tonight. Right after that, news broke that the Mariners were considering not playing. Something important to keep in mind here. The Mariners have the most black players on their roster of any MLB team. At 3:20, Seattle players left the field at Petco Stadium, and by 3:30, there were no players on the field or in the bullpen. At 4:05, Mariners players Kyle Seager, Shed Long, and former Gonzaga pitcher Marco Gonzalez met with San Diego players and informed them that they were not going to play. According to San Diego Union Tribune writer Kevin Acey, the game has been postponed, but there's no makeup date currently. There could be more MLB games getting postponed tonight, as the SF Giants and Atlanta Braves may also be discussing protesting. Mariners second baseman Dee Gordon tweeting within the last 30 minutes, "There are serious issues in this country. For me and for many of my teammates, the injustices, violence, death, and systemic racism is deeply personal. This is impacting not only my community, but very directly my family and friends. Our team voted unanimously not to play tonight. Instead of watching us, we hope people will focus on the things more important than sports that are happening. Also, Shed Long tweeting within the last 20 minutes, enough is enough, with an image of him with his fist up. The WNBA also deciding today not to play within the last hour. NBA players are meeting as we speak to discuss their next steps. There is a possibility that they could walk away entirely from the bubble, and there could not be an NBA champion this season. Of course, we will keep you updated on this story through tonight, as it will surely be developing. Back to you guys.
All right, Brenna Green reporting live tonight. Brenna, thank you very much. Okay, still ahead on KREM 2 News at 5. Your other local headlines today, including an extended deadline on the 2020 census and why every local form counts. And in case you missed it, good news to report on the Chick-fil-A on Newport Highway location. We finally have a more concrete answer about when Spokane can satisfy your chicken sandwich and waffle fries craving. Late 2020, that is the expected opening timeline, according to the company.